Let's start.
Okay. Good evening to all the viewers who are watching us live. Myself, Dr. Kritika Patel, working as an assistant professor at Shri Udaram Physiotherapy College, warmly welcomes you all on behalf of VN Patel Medical Campus. So today's our resource person is Dr. Samira Patel, who is going to speak on women's health. She is very enthusiastic, delighted, and passionate person. She has completed her graduation from Parul Institute of Physiotherapy, Vadodara, and her master's in community rehabilitation from Sumandir Institute of Physiotherapy, Vadodara. So we are eager to hear you, ma'am. It will be going to be a wonderful session. So over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Kritika Madam. Uh, I'm very grateful to uh, achieve this opportunity from the VN Patel Medical Campus and Shri Odoram Physiotherapy College. I will give my best to deliver my knowledge to all the attendees and the students. Thank you so much once again. Today, we will see the topic about the women's health, the common problems faced by the women, especially in India. Okay. So today we will talk about the women's health, in the trend of the feminism and the woman empowerment. Still, we are one pace behind the health of the women, especially in rural India and even commonly majority in the urban area also. So what is the health? First, we will see what is the health. So according to the WHO, the health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of the disease or infirmity. Means the health should you are healthy. When will you say like that? I am healthy. I have a good health. It's not just only absence of the any disease or any condition. It is you are healthy when you have a good physical as well as mental and spiritual, even social well-being. Then you will call yourself healthy. So yeah, I hope you are getting what is the health, the definition of the health. Now we will talk about the woman's health. So woman's health refers to the health of the woman, which differs from that of the man in many unique ways due to unique biological, social, and behavioral conditions. Even though males and females are they are the same, but they have totally different hormonal biological system in their body. So the health problems are totally unique from the men to into the women. Before we start talking about the common health problem, I will focus on some facts about the women's health in India. As we know, health is an important factor that contributes to human well-being and economic growth. On the other hand, presently in the present environment, in the present scenario, the women in India experience a multitude of the health problems, which ultimately affect the aggregate economic output and contribute to barrier of the economic gain. Because the majority of the economy is running on the health scenario, health economic, right? Health expenditure. So in the India, there is a women are suffering from the many more health problems. So it will affect the economy of the country. Majority some factors or some faults, some disease which are common in the India is like nutritional deprivation has major consequences of the different elements, malnutrition and the nutritional deficit, nutritional deprivation, because the India is the country of the villages, and the majority of the people are living in the rural villages, right? So they have we all know that in villages there is the prevalence of the poverty and the starvation are major. So females as well as males children are differ from the malnutrition and starvation. only small percentage of the women have a balanced diet in India. And they have a deficiency of the different vitamins like vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, calcium, magnesium, and other minerals are more found in they are deficiency of these minerals and vitamins are more found in young females than young males. Then the osteoporosis and osteoarthritis are the silently progressing metabolic bone disease is widely prevalent in India. We all can see around us, even in our house, or in home, our relatives, our family, that majority of the female are complaining about the knee pain, back pain after the age of 40 or the age of the 45 after the menopause. Even before the menopause, even before the 40 of the age, because of the lack of nutrition, because of the lack of calcium and vitamin D3. India has a high maternal mortality ratio. According to the National Family Health Survey, NFHS conducted in 1982 and 1993, in the 4 year preceding the survey, they concluded that 37% of the all pregnant women in India received no prenatal care during pregnancies. We all know about antenatal care, postnatal care, and the labor care because we knew, we read, we learn about the women's health. But the people who are lame people, they don't know anything about antenatal care. No, antenatal care physiotherapy is the different thing, but they even don't know about the antenatal care, which means antenatal checkup, medication, proper nutritional food. They all will be included in the antenatal care. So the 30% of the female, they are not going to the antenatal care according to the survey by the NFHS. It was also found that nearly 3/4 of all the births take place at home, and 2/3 of all the births were not attended by the trained medical personnel. Nowadays, we all know all deliveries are conducting in the hospital. Before the delivery, all the 9 months are the lady was prescribing medication with the same doctor, and she is undergoing through the delivery with the same doctor. But in the rural area, and even the 3/4 of the pregnancies deliveries conducted in India are conducted at home by relatives or any elderly woman, or you can call it her midwife. Means they have no any professional health workers were there, and they even didn't take a female to the hospital. They conducted delivery at home only. Differential treatment of girls and boys in terms of feeding practices, utilization of the whole household resources, and access to healthcare are some factors responsible for higher female morbidity and mortality in India. Child are killed in the womb only because of the people obsession over the boy child, right? And they treated girl and boys inequally. Means if the boy has minor fever or the minor cold, they will go to the doctor for the checkup. But if the girl has any problem, they will not take her to the hospital. And because of this reason, there is a high mortality rate, and the morbidity rate of the woman in India is higher. The 2012 National Crime Records Bureau report of India state a reportedly crime rate of the 46 per 10,000, and the rape rate of 2 per 10,000, 1 lakh, and the dowry homicide rate of 0.7 per 1 lakh, and the rate of domestic adultery by the husband or his relative is 5.9% per 1 lakh. Means there is a huge prevalence of rape, domestic violence, and the crime which are caused to the women are higher in India. Women suffer many types of physical and emotional abuses as a result of illegal actions taken within the private home. And those who have experienced some form of domestic violence tend to have greater long-term mental disorders and drug dependencies than those who do not. The woman who is victim of any sexual harassment or any physical or the mental torture or the violence, they are more prevalent, more susceptible to the depression and other mental disorders. and they have a drug dependency. Women are subjected to twice the risk of miscarriage and 4 times the risk of having a baby that is below average weight. Because there is a many reason why this happen. Because first of all is the lack of nutritional diet, with lack of balanced diet. Second is the domestic violence. Third is improper food. These are improper health treatment. These all will concluded into the risk of miscarriage and the premature birth delivery. Domestic violence also account a sizable portion of the maternal death. Because of domestic violence, there is a maternal deaths are higher. Now we will see common health problems. First is the maternal health. We already seen the maternal death ratio, right? There is a maternal death ratio is higher in India, maternal and child death ratio. So we will see the first is maternal death, then complication of the pregnancy, common gynecological conditions, cancer and depression. So first we will see maternal health. The WHO estimates that of 5,36,000 maternal deaths occurring globally each other. This is the number value of the globally, means all around the world. Out of 5,36,000, and 1,36,000 take place only in India. You can see out of 5,36,000, there is the like 3/4 portion is occurring in India only. The major complications that account for nearly 2/3 of all the maternal deaths, which cause maternal deaths like severe bleeding, mostly after childbirth, which we call postpartum hemorrhage, infection after birth, then the high blood pressure, eclampsia, pre-eclampsia and eclampsia, and the complication from delivery and unsafe abortion. We will see which is complication of the pregnancy like cancer, gestational diabetes, high blood pressure, infection, sexually transmitted disease like HIV, kidney problems, epilepsy, anemia, breech positioning of the child in the womb, antepartum hemorrhage means that hemorrhage bleeding before the delivery, and the postpartum hemorrhage means bleeding after the childbirth, cardiac disease, ectopic pregnancy, fibroids, intrauterine death, multiple pregnancies. These all are the different complications of the pregnancy. Now, how to improve the maternal health? The government of India has taken many measures to reduce the prevalence of or to reduce the percentage of the maternal and the child death rate in India. They have conducted many schemes under this organization. For example, the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Mantri Abhiyan, Janni Shishu Raksha Karyakram. In the Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Mantri Abhiyan, the government will provide some amount of money to the pregnant lady in term of the installation, and they will also provide the free of cost antenatal care visit, antenatal checkup, sonography, medication, everything will be free of cost to all the women who are pregnant, who have administered their name in the government hospital for the delivery. And the Janni Shishu Suraksha Karyakram, the government will provide the free transport to the mother, to do ambulance service, and after the birth, even the ambulance service to the home in this Janni Shishu Suraksha Karyakram. Now, even adding to these schemes, there is another topic like antenatal care in pregnancy is must. Why antenatal care? Because in majority of the women in India are anemic because of lack of balanced diet and lack of iron, vitamins, and minerals deficiency. They are anemic, which leads to their pre-weight birth, miscarriage, or the abortion, skill care during childbirth. When the delivery will be conducted, it should be concluded into the hospital and under the guidance of the skilled health professional like the gynecologist or the midwife or the nursing staff, and the care and also provide the postnatal care in the support in the weeks after the childbirth. all these things should be the this measure should be taken to avoid the maternal death ratio and improve maternal health. Now, second is the common gynecological condition. Common gynecological condition like there is a vast major women's health is a vast topic. We can't conclude this into one or 2 hour lecture. There are there are many problems into women's health, many common conditions. But I have included major common conditions which have higher prevalence in the Indian women. First is a premenstrual tension. Short form is the PMT. Right, premenstrual syndrome. You can see here female reproductive system, uterus, fallopian tube, ovary. All these changes will occur in the female reproductive system, which will called gynecological problem. So what is really happen in the premenstrual tension or the premenstrual syndrome? It is more common in women over 30 years of the age than in the younger women. Younger means less than 30 years or the less than 25 years women. It is more common in more than 30 years of the age. It is estimated. It is concluded or defined that there is 3 of the every 4 menstruating women have experienced some form of premenstrual syndrome. Each and every any girl student or any faculty, any female faculty, female children, any female who are hearing me or who are attending this webinar, you should also have like experienced this type of premenstrual tension in your life at any time. Why this happen? Causes. Exactly what causes premenstrual syndrome is unknown, but several factors may contribute to the condition. Which cause this premenstrual is still not knowing exactly which causes, but there is some associated risk factors, some associated causes like cyclical changes in hormone. As the age increases, the hormonal activity will changes in our body, right? So these changes will causes the premenstrual syndrome. Then the chemical changes, depression, these all will happen. These all will cause premenstrual tension. Symptom of the PMS. What is the symptom of PMS? So you all have experienced this type of symptoms before the menstruation occurs. We all, I hope all of you are knowing about the menstrual cycle, menstruation, when the menstruation happen, menstruation age, reproductive age, menopause age, right? So PMS symptoms, when the PMS symptoms will occur before the menstruation, 2 to 3 days before the menstruation occur, actually menstruation occurs. So there will be cramp, abdominal cramp was present, lower back pain, diarrhea, bloating, abdominal pain. See the major mood changes like at a one point of time you feel very happy, you feel very positive, and in the matter of few seconds you feel like depressed, you feel like crying, or you feel very irritated in the some little issues, stress. Then majority of the females have problem of acne during the menstruation, and then a headache, even the craving of the different type of food, right? These all are the symptoms of the PMS. Now this PMS is not a like chronic or the major like life threatening condition. It is it's a common, we can say, the physiological changes. The for the sum, the physical pain and emotional stress are severe enough to affect their daily life. This when the menstruation, these symptoms will be seen mostly in the first 2 or the 3 days of the menstruation cycle. Commonly, menstruation cycle are mainly minimum 3 days and the maximum 10 days or maximum 7 days. So these symptoms will be seen in first 2 or the 3 days. If these symptoms are severe, then it will be seen in the whole menstruation cycle. So after 2 to 3 days or the 4 days, the symptoms will reduce automatically. You don't have to do anything or to take any medication. The symptom will reduce disappear automatically. And after the start of the menstruation, even when the menstruation cycle was start, the symptom will automatically disappear. I hope you are getting me. If you have any problem or if you are not getting me, please let me know. The second is dysmenorrhea. First, we see premenstrual syndrome, which actually occurred before the menstruation, right? When the everyone has their menstrual cycle is fixed, like in the month of this date, right? The menstruation will come and the 3 days out of 4 days out of 5 days. Then the next month the same date or one day before or one day after it will come. Means everyone has a regular menstruation cycle, so before the menstruation occur, these symptoms will present. But what is in dysmenorrhea? Dysmenorrhea is the painful menstruation, right? Painful menstruation means when the menstruation is running, when you are bleeding, the pain, there is this different symptoms. Now, dysmenorrhea is a two type. There is a two type of dysmenorrhea: primary dysmenorrhea and the secondary dysmenorrhea. So it is a medical term for the menstrual cramps which are caused by the uterine contraction. Whenever there is a uterine contraction was occurred, the female or the person will feel the abdominal cramp in the body. Sorry to disturb. 1 second. Now, primary dysmenorrhea, which mainly affect a young woman in their teen ages and the early 20s, means mainly the teenagers or the girl or a female who have experienced the first time menstruation, and even after the not only in the first time, in early 20s or the about third 20 or third 25 of the age, they feel like a menstrual cramp whenever the menstruation happens. Now, pain, when will pain occurs? The pain usually begins a day or 2 days before menstrual flow. This is associated with the premenstrual syndrome. Why? Because there is in PTM, PTS, there is also the same symptoms, the abdominal pain and the discomfort, which will disappear after the menstruation happen or the 2 to 3 days after menstruation. So this pain usually begins a day or 2 days before menstruation flow and may continue to the first 2 days of the menstruation. Discomfort tends to decrease over time and after the pregnancy. After the marriage or after the pregnancy, this type of the abdominal cramp during the menstruation will seems to be disappear or the reduce the frequency or the intensity of the abdominal cramps which are happening in the menstruation will be reduced or the disappear totally after the pregnancy. What is the symptom? This dysmenorrhea symptoms. The first is the loose stools, nausea. The person will feel like to vomit everything, dizziness, then hip pain, back pain, pelvic pain, headache, mood swings, mood changes, irritability. All these are the different symptoms. Now causes. Causes which happen, which cause primary dysmenorrhea and the secondary dysmenorrhea. The first is the primary dysmenorrhea. The first is the strong uterine contraction. Strong uterine contraction will be happen by this increased production of the human prostaglandins by the lining of the uterus. We all know about the endometrium, which is called lining of the uterus, which will produce the human prostaglandin, which will cause strong uterine contraction. Then the anxiety and the stress, blood and tissue being discharged through a narrow cervix, means the cervix septum, displaced uterus and the lack of exercise. If there is a lack of physical activities present, or the female is obese, or the female have a properly sedentary lifestyle, they have more seems to be dysmenorrhea. Second is the secondary dysmenorrhea, endometriosis, blood and tissue being discharged through a narrow cervix, cervical stenosis, uterine fibroid or ovarian cyst. Primary means they are like it is related to the menstruation, means it is related to the reproductive organs or the any hormonal changes. Where the secondary means there is any pathological condition or any other systemic condition is present. Because of that condition, you will feel dysmenorrhea. So this is the reason. It is endometriosis, cervical stenosis. There is a fibroid cyst present in the uterus, infection of the uterus, pelvic inflammatory disease, which we call PIVD, intrauterine device. If there is a like some female have like birth control or the contraceptive devices are there in the body, her body, adenomyosis, and the inflammatory bowel disease. These are the causes which will produce dysmenorrhea, means the painful menstruation. Okay. Now third is the polycystic ovarian syndrome, like which is short form is the PCOS. Polycystic ovary syndrome is a hormonal disorder common among women of reproductive age. In the female who are menstruating, right? Like commonly after the age of 14 to age of 40 or the 45. It will happen in the reproductive age. Women with PCOS may have infrequent or prolonged menstrual periods or excess male hormone. What will happen in PCOS? The woman will miss her 2 periods up to 2 months or 3 months, even sometimes year, 2 years, 3 years, means for the long time. Or if her periods will be happen, it will be regular. Means the menstrual cycle come in this month and will come after the 2-3 months. Or sometimes it will come in the 2 times in 1 month or the 2 times in the 1.5 month. Means there is an irregular menstrual cycle or a infrequent or a prolonged menstrual period. Means there is a huge interval between 2 menstrual periods. We all know there is a female hormone, there is a different female hormone and different male hormone. But in this type of in the PCOS, the male hormone, which is testosterone, is there is some little amount of testosterone is present in every woman. But in PCOS, this testosterone amount of testosterone will increase more than normal, which should not. But there is an increase in the testosterone hormone. The ovaries may develop numerous small collection of the fluid. Maybe ovaries will there is a small cyst like or the sac like polycystic ovary syndrome is a health problem that affects 1 in 10 women of childbearing age. Women with PCOS have a hormonal imbalance and metabolism problems that may affect their overall health and appearance. PCOS are also common and treatable cause of infertility. Now you can see here hormonal imbalance and metabolism problems. We all know about the diabetes, right? Okay, diabetes is the hormonal condition, right? It's the hormonal imbalance will cause diabetes mellitus. So in the PCOS women, there is an imbalance of the hormone as present. So these type of this kind of the women have more susceptibility to develop diabetes mellitus in the young age. And this PCOS is also one of the main reason, and the treatable reason means you can treat PCOS. It is not like that it is untreatable or the chronic. You can treat by regular exercise and other medication. And it is a main and the treatable reason of the infertility. Infertility means there is no chance of conceiveness, means there is no chance of getting pregnant. Now, what is the symptoms of PCOS? So PCOS is in the PCOS, the woman may have excessive body hair growth because of the male hormone testosterone. there is the hair growth will be occur at the play at the like uncommon place. For example, the in the hair growth on the chest, hair growth on the there is a beard type, mustache type of, and the excessive hair growth, and the where scalp hair is reduced, thinness, or the baldness also present or maybe occurred. Second is the weight changes and trouble losing weight. The woman is women have tendency to eat more. They like eating disorder type, and they have gaining weight suddenly. All of sudden they gain weight and they become obese, and it is very difficult to reduce the weight after even after dieting, or if she is not able to reduce weight. Then the ovarian cyst, low sex drive, you can also libido, irregular or the missed periods. I already told you what is irregular. Then the male pattern baldness, thinning of hair. Female may have appear like a male type of baldness, and the scalp hair will become more hair fall, and the hair will become suddenly thin, and the upper head is like balding of the head. Then the high testosterone level, insulin resistant. Why insulin resistant? Because there is the hormonal imbalance is present, and the women may develop the resistance to the insulin. Fatigue, female is more tend to fatigue easily, and the early acne, mood changes, severe mood changes, irritability, depression, and the sudden cry, sudden feel of the happiness, and the trouble conceiving or the infertility. These are the PCOS symptoms. Now, what causes the PCOS? The causes of PCOS is genes. It's a genetical. If there is a genetical defect is present, or that in the sorry, the another female or the mother of that female or the any family history of the present, then it will come to the female in the resistance to insulin. If the female have diabetes before in the this early age like 30 or the 35, then the inflammation of the reproductive system like ovary, fallopian tubes, all will leads to PCOS. Now management, how we will manage this kind of gynecological condition like dysmenorrhea or the premenstrual syndrome or the PCOS. So nutrition, first of all, will be nutrition. So increase the intake of fatty acids like fish, nuts, decrease intake of saturated fats and like processed foods, fast food, meat, dairy products, cheese, burger, pizzas, chocolates, butter, this coffee, tea, alcohols, tobacco, everything has to be stopped or the avoid. Increase intake of the fresh fruits and vegetables, proteins, magnesium-rich foods, vitamin E, vitamin B complex, and essential fatty acids like omega-3 in the food which conducted omega-3 like fish and the fish oil. Then the rest is must. Then the third is the stress reduction. For the stress reduction, we have already seen in the previous webinar the coping strategies of the stress, relaxation exercise, breathing exercise, meditation, and everything. Then the fourth is the castor oil pack, because there is a severe abdominal cramp, back pain, pelvic pain, hip pain was present. So oil pack to apply oil to directly to the skin. Even the skin is very dry, which will tend to skin infection or the skin irritation, dryness, acne, another skin changes. So castor oil pack. Then heat therapy, warm bath or a heating pad apply to the lower abdomen to relieve abdomen and the pelvic pain. Then the contrast size bath. You all know about the contrast bath. There's a combination of the hot tech and the hot therapy and cold therapy, cold water and the hot water. So used to be basins that you can comfortably sit in, like bathtub or the any tub where like one tub fill of the hot water, hot not that much hot, but the warm water, and the one is the cold water. Then sit in the water for 3 minutes, hot water for 3 minutes, and then 2 minutes in the cold water. So repeat three to four times to complete one set. This should be done one or two times per day. Then exercise. Exercise is must. Mostly in PCOS, because of the in PCOS we see that male hormones are increasing, the obesity, then the hair changes, body changes, mood swings. All these will they have a very good benefits from the physiotherapy. The for the PCOS female, they mostly consultate to the gynecologist, and they always advise to do gymming or the exercise or the swimming, aerobic exercise, all these to reduce the weight and to uh, repair their reproductive organs, to reduce inflammation of the reproductive organs. So they do the following exercise about 2 to 3 times a day, several days before period. So even this exercise is very helpful in the premenstruation syndrome and the dysmenorrhea. So the Kegel exercise and the low intensity aerobic exercise, back strengthening exercise, core strengthening exercise. All these exercise should be done. Cycling, swimming, all this is very beneficial to the for the this type of gynecological problem. Then the TENS. For the pain relief, you can apply electrotherapy by the TENS. The pair should be placed near the area of the pain, and then acupuncture, massage. Massage is very beneficial. Therapeutic massage help in reducing the effect of the stress mainly, and the spinal manipulation. Then drink warm beverages, like do not consume alcohol, do not consume cold drinks, do not eat fatty foods or the fast food, the salt, sugar, excessive salt, sugar, caffeine. Eat light but frequent meals, like frequently, thoru. Then practice relaxation techniques, right? Meditation, breathing exercise should be yoga. Then additional supplements like vitamin B6, calcium, vitamin D3, then magnesium included medication. Food should be taken. Now, menopause. What is the menopause? Menopause is the cessation of the menstruation, means stopping of the menstruation at the age of at the age where when the menstruation will stop will called menopause, and marks the end of woman's reproductive years. When the menstruation will stop, the woman is not able to conceive, right? So reproductive years will be end there with the menopause. Now there's a natural menopause also there, and the happening means the not natural. You have to, like, for example, hysterectomy, removal of the uterus, is one kind of the early menopause. Because of the removing of the uterus, there will be no menstruation, right? So this is the artificial. You can say artificial menopause and the natural menopause, which will occur or to happen as the age increases. So it has significant implication for a woman's health and quality of life. Now we all know that women have a different type of hormones like estrogen, progesterone, right? So as the FSH, or you can say anything LH, right? So when the menstruation will stop and the menopause will start, so it will not happen suddenly. Before menopause will start, there is a decrease in the menstruation period, which will or there is a irregular menstruation will occur. There is a long interval between two menstruation, which is called premenopausal phase. Premenopausal means when the sudden, totally 100% stoppage of menstruation will occur. Before that, the woman have 1 or 2 year of the premenstrual phase. So what will happen in this phase? As the decreasing in the menstruation, there is a hormonal imbalance will occur. Hormones which are responsible for the menstruation or the everything in the body of the female, for example, estrogen and the progesterone, which are the main hormone on the female. So what will happen? The amount of the estrogen will reduce, which will cause the bone density, the calcium imbalance, vitamin D3 imbalance, which will lead to bone pain, and the bone density will reduce, and female may have different symptoms like hot flushes, irritability, sudden weight gain. Different symptoms will be occur because of the biochemical and metabolic changes following the menopause. Now, to what the perimenopause, what will happen in the perimenopause? I already told you about the perimenopause phase. So, vasomotor effect. Vasomotor effect will happen into the will lead to hot flushes and night sweats. Normally, the sweating will not happen in the night before the menopause, but as the menopause is coming, uh, like pre-menopause, perimenopausal phase, the woman will feel excessive sweating during night. When she is sleeping in the night, she feels excessive hot and excessive sweating and hot flushes. Means her face will become red and she feel extremely hot. She is unable to bear the temperature. Then the vaginal dryness, which may result in painful intercourse. Then third is the sleep disturbance because of hot flushes and the night sweating. They sleep will become sleep interfere. Sleep become less, or she is not able to sleep completely for the or complete her sleep regularly. Then the mood changes. Female will suddenly go into the depression, anxiety because of her body changes. Because of my perimenopausal symptom, her body is tend to change because there is a stoppage of menstruation. So there is a no hormone. So sudden weight gain will happen, the hair growth, joint pain, back pain, forgetfulness, which will lead to her like her mental impact, which will lead to depression, anxiety, irritability, sudden mood swings, cognitive disturbances like forgetfulness, back pain, stiff and painful, tiredness. She will feel tired easily and very early. Urinary incontinence, menorrhagia means heavy bleeding. Before the actual menopause occurred, some female have like continuous 2 to 3 months of the menstruation. She feel heavy bleeding for 2 to 3 months without interval or without interruption. Then the sexual dysfunction and quality of life, like either positive or the negative effect. If you can see the western countries, for example like USA, UK, so there is a like menopause is the like freedom from the menstruation, freedom from the wearing pads, sanitary napkins, and freedom from the abdominal cramps. They think positive, and they actually feel this phase very happily, and they welcome this phase happily. But well, we see in India, they have negative impact, like that I will gain weight, I will not look good. Their body change, body image, perception of their body will leads to depression and anxiety, and which have negative impact on their quality of life. And they like usually left their all work. They have no interest in doing any household work, any household chores. They have no interest in like interacting with the people whom they love. They like abandoned to themselves only in one room. They are not usually go outside more. These all are the symptoms of the pre-menopause. Now the breast cancer, the most common cancer happen in the female is the breast cancer, right? So what happened in the breast cancer? Breast is the most common invasive cancer in women, and the second leading cause of the cancer death in women after the lung cancer. On the first top stage is the lung cancer, and after that, the breast cancer is happened. So what is the symptom of the breast cancer? The size or shape of the breast is changed. Redness or the rashes are happening under the breast. Dumping or thickening, pulled in nipple, dimpling, the armpit pain, dripping, skin texture changes. These are like whitish or the abnormal discharge from the nipple, or the darkness of the nipple. Color is changed. The thickening or the texture, cracking of the nipples will happen. You feel a lump in the like lump means like the sagging type of tumor type of the texture is feel in the breast. These all are the symptoms of the breast cancer. What the causes of the breast cancer? The exact cause of the breast cancer remains unclear. जो so there is a no like exact cause of the breast cancer, but there is some responsible risk factor which like they have some risk factor which may increase the risk of breast cancer happening, which is not actually caused, but there are risk factors. If the person has this type of condition is present, then they have more chances to develop the breast cancer. Okay, for example, age. As the age increases, or the female who become mother at a very young age, or the mother at the very old age, after the 35 or the 45, they have more tendency to develop breast cancer. Or the women who have a less time period for the breastfeeding, they have more tendency to develop breast cancer. Then the genetics. If there is any history of family history of the breast cancer is present, they have tendency to develop previous history of breast cancer. Some female have like history of the breast cancer in the right side of the breast, and after the surgery or after the chemotherapy or the radiotherapy, they have recovered from that, and after the sudden few years they develop the recurrence, the same side of the breast. If there is a no excision was done, but if the breast is intact, they have like recurrence, or the or else they have like same type of symptoms is present in the another breast, or the normal breast. So there is a previous history of cancer and estrogen exposure and breastfeeding. I already told you about the breastfeeding. If there is a less period was given for the breastfeeding, to prevent the breastfeeding, the mother should be do breastfeeding for at least 6 months to 1 year. Maximum is like 1 year to 1.5 years is the good for the like to prevent the occurrence of the breast cancer. And the last is the depression. Depression can impact every area of woman's life, including physical health, social life, relationship, career, and sense of self-worth, and is complicated by the factors like reproductive hormones, social pressure, and the unique female response to stress. We already have seen that in the yesterday webinar that the stress has like mainly because of the work pressure, or the like disability or any disease. Like there's a different causes of the stress. So in female, it can be happen in very early age, also in any very late age. In early age, like for example, there is a sexual abuse, violence is present. So female is always in the fear, or in the like depression. They have no like hope for to to live. They are always like they have no proper food, they have no proper clothes. They are always feel introvert and like isolated by another world, even by their family. This and then with their physical health also, then social life, then relationship, career. The working women have more chances of getting depressed because of they have to balance about their work as well as their home. They have to balance their husband, their children, their family members, and they have to maintain their professional life also. So they have to balance each and every day, which leads to impact on their mental and physical health as well. If some women fails to balance this type of communication between the professional and personal life, so they have more impact on their mental and physical health, and they have more tendency to develop anxiety, then like uh, isolation, then self self dependency, Like they have no confidence, they have no self confidence about them. They always like feel like they have no worth. They have like they are not able to balance their children and their work equally. Then reproductive hormones, as the age increases, as the premenstruation to like then menstruation and then perimenopausal and then menopausal, all these phases will lead to changes in the reproductive system, hormonal system, and which have high impact on their body changes, their body changes, their look changes, their weight, everything is changed, which have like a high impact on their mental health. They have like less chances of the to get conceived, or they have like mostly they have infertility, but they are totally completely under the pressure of the family to conceive the baby, to deliver the baby, or to getting pregnant. So they have completely under the pressure of the family, society. Okay, what if I have not children in this age, then what will happen to me, what will happen to my family? They are constantly under the pressure. Or the female who is not getting married before the 30 years, they are constantly under the pressure of the marriage by the society, the family. This all will affect their reproductive system, as well as their mental and their physical health also. Causes of depression, women, I already told you: premenstrual problem, pregnancy and infertility, postpartum depression. After the delivery of the baby or after the childbirth, female majority of the female underwent to the depression after the delivery. Why? Because of the lack of like they're not able to accept themselves after the delivery, that I have become like this, I was so slim, I was so thin before the pregnancy, and now I become this, I become fat, I have one more responsibility of my children, I have my problem in my career, I will not get proper attention from my family. Always there are many more reasons of the postpartum depression. Then menopause and perimenopause, body image issues because of their changes in their body due to the hormonal changes, thyroid problems, medication side effects, mainly in the after the menopause, after the 50 year of the age. There is the medicine side effect will leads to their insomnia, depression, then the health problems like comorbid, like diabetes. If they have another health problem like diabetes, hypertension, or the cardiac disease, or the osteoarthritis, this all will lead to person into the leads to their impact on their quality of life, because they are totally dependent on their other family members, which leads to their confidence, self confidence, that I become worthless, I become I is getting older, I become more dependent on my family, I have no importance in my family, which this all cause leads to depression. There is a famous quote: if you check the health of a woman, you check the health of the society. So in the last, in the summary, I want to tell you about that you have to pay attention towards yourself, the female attendees, the female students you have attending this webinar. You have to pay attention towards your mom, towards your sister, in your family, in your surroundings, in your society, wherever you live. There is a many women have different kind of physical problem or the health problem. If some females have no health problem, but they have some family problems, like they have regularly abused, regularly sexually, physically abused, they have their domestic violence was present. So you have to counsel them, so that they will not take any wrong decision, and you have to manage them by their problem also, and you have to counsel and you have to give them strength to send for themselves. Because I see from myself that the female have mainly ignored their health. If there is some children or their husband or any one of the family member is sick, they will rush to the hospital immediately. But the female have even fever, even she has back pain, she has like knee pain, anything, but she will suffer by herself only. She will not even say to her family member that I have this complaint. She will not consult any doctor. She will not take any regular medication. She is not taking proper food. She is like, I first my family will eat, then I will eat whatever left over. So this is not the right attitude. You have to stand for yourself. So if you check the health of the woman, you check the health of the society. So thank you so much for listening me. I hope I have all covered all the major problem of the woman's health. If you have any question, please, or if you are not getting any point, you can ask me.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your wonderful session. All the attendees, if you have any doubt, you can ask now. Okay, ma'am, there was one question. Uh,
Yes.
is obesity have any correlation with female health issues, like
Yes.
female who is more obese has more issues?
Yes, the female who have more weight than their BMI, they have more tendency to develop PCOS. Even if she is not obese, if she has PCOS, she is more tendency to develop obesity. So obesity has a higher correlation with the her health problems in women.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, there was another question.
Yes.
Does physical activity, sudden physical activity, such as if a woman start gym suddenly, so is
Hmm.
there any correlation with the menstrual cycle then? Like sudden start of physical activity will cause dysmenorrhea or anything?
The female who have like totally physically less active, or you can say sedentary, and if she's starting sudden physical activity, but I think in the gym she's not like totally like going to the like higher intensity activity. She will actually will train under the like in protocol. So I don't have any like reference that there is any correlation between that. But from my view, there is no such correlation that because of sudden physical activity, there is a dysmenorrhea will present.
Okay. There is a
Maybe she
question.
has a previous
Okay.
history. Maybe she has a previous history of dysmenorrhea. Then it will be more increase. Yes, it will be more increase after the physical activity for
Okay.
the sometimes.
Okay, ma'am. There is a question from the attendees. Like as you said, ma'am, acupressure is also a treatment. So how it manage in any woman problem or disorder?
Mainly, acupressure is mainly applicable when you have any pelvic pain. Mainly, it relax your sore muscle or your painful muscle. So there is a no such such a correlation that in particular system. But when the pelvic pain or the abdominal pain was present, so after giving by giving acupuncture or the acupressure or like the massage, you will relieve that pain.
Okay. Another question, ma'am. Is it normal to have dysmenorrhea?
Yes, it is normal to have dysmenorrhea, but if you have like every time, mostly I already said that after the getting pregnant or after getting married, that this dysmenorrhea will occurs to relieve or disappear. But if you have severe symptoms like even after the menstruation complete, if you feel like more pain, then you have to I will say you have to consult your gynecologist, or you have to undergo to the sonography. If there is any other pathological condition was present or not, you don't know, so you have to consult your doctor.
Okay, ma'am. So one another question: how we can assess the woman with severe dysmenorrhea in initial stage? Like, can we diagnose her?
Yes, you can diagnose her. 1 second. First you have to like ask about their like from where she has complained about the dysmenorrhea, like from the first period, first menstruation cycle, or because of any physical activity, or like any problem after that or some age, and the when she has more main pain. There is a many different scale was also present. I will tell you about the more in the assessment. So first is the age of menarche. The person there is a depend on the age of the female. Yeah, what is the age? Mainly we see that dysmenorrhea is mainly seen in the teenager or the 20 early 20s, right? So and the pain during the menstruation cycle, pain scale, how much she feel pain, then the nature of the pain, the type of pain, the date of the last menstruation cycle, then the period is regular or irregular, menstruation aggravating factors, what will happen when, what actually, which activity increases their pain, any other symptoms, then the pain gynecological history, like there is any infertility was present, PCOS was present, can abnormal, there is any abnormal vaginal bleeding, leukorrhea is present, then other associated symptoms like back pain, pelvic pain, all these seem to like assess, you have to assess, and then physical examination, you have to assess like primary vital signs, then pelvic examination is must, you have to check the pelvic examination. There is any tenderness was present over the uterus or the cervix, then you have to check about the risk factors, like there's a depression was present, attempts to lose weight, like some females are like they have, like for the reducing weight, they are undergoing to the severe diet, like drastic diet changes, which will also leads to dysmenorrhea. So these are the like for diagnostic test, you have to blood test, ultrasound, like sonography, if there is any fibroid or the cyst was present, and the complication management. I already told you about nutrition, exercise, and this is the management of this is the assessment of the first the female with the dysmenorrhea.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for that answer. There is one another question. What could be the reason behind no relief in menstruation cramps, even with medication, exercise, and heat therapy?
Usually, the pain which is occurred during there is in the dysmenorrhea or in the premenstruation syndrome, this pain is tends to relieve after the heat modality or the exercise and the medication. But if still you are not getting any relief after taking medication, then I will suggest you to consult your doctor. Maybe there is any underlying pathology, like I already told you about the cyst and ovary fibroid or any fluid discharge. So you should consult your doctor.
Okay. Ma'am, would you like to comment on why the PCOS and PCOD is more common nowadays than earlier?
Yes, yes. The first of the reason the why the PCOS and PCOD is common nowadays. First is the diet plan. Now the people are more tend to eat fast food and the food from the restaurant, mainly the mixed like the maida, cheese, butter, sugar, pastry, dairy item like pastries, cake, everything. So these are high fat fibers, right? So then the second is the totally physically inactivity. Now people are like they are using the vehicle for the little distance also, they are not getting too much like physical activity. Then the third is the stress, like people are now tends to getting very emotional or the very stressful in even small situation. This all will leads to like PCOS and the PCOD.
Okay. Um, there is, ma'am, another question. Ma'am, is there any abnormal sign that during menstrual cycle there is no pain to woman? If there is no pain, so it would, is
No,
it like indicating any abnormal sign?
no, it is not compulsory to having pain during menstruation. This is not compulsory. It is
Okay.
very normal.
So, ma'am, would you like to recommend any exercise during menstruation, like
Yes.
any easy exercise or any type of physical activity they can do during their menstruation?
uh, During menstruation, I will advise to like light walking, then general physical like light physical activity like breathing, and then back SLR, and static back exercise. All these exercise very helpful. And the yoga, yes, most yoga means like there is some pose or some position like the elevate the legs, like when you have pain in the abdomen or the pelvic, what should you do, that you have to like elevate your legs, and then stay with the wall, and then it will what will happen, that it will reduce the pressure over the pelvic, so it will eventually reduce the pain. And the second is that you have to like sit like this, that your abdomen will be pressed with your thighs, so it will also reduce the pain.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. There's another question. Is it normal or pathological to have only 1 to 2 days of menstruation? Like if bleeding is only for 1 to 2 days.
Yes,
So it is
yes, yes.
normal or pathological?
It is actually in the definition of the menstruation cycle, that there is a like minimal is the 3 days, minimal is 3 days, and maximum is the 10 days. If you have bleeding for more than 10 days, or that you have bleeding less than 3 days, then there is any like because of any reason there is a, not, I will not say like there in a pathology, but this bleeding was due to something else, due to something else reason. It's not a menstruation, because
If the menstruation is only leading to 1 to 2 days, then ma'am.
yes, I'm saying that if this bleeding is happened, so there is definitely there is some another problem, or there is some another reason for the bleeding. This is not menstruation. But it also depends that what happens in some females, that for the first 1 to 2 days there's a heavy flow, heavy bleeding, and after the 2 days it will eventually reduce, or the very little amount of the bleeding. It will happen when you are very physically active, and mainly athletes, or you have taken any medication which which increases the bleeding flow, and like if any heating modality which increase your bleeding, then it will happen. But without all these factors, if you are bleeding for only 1 or 2 days, there is something like there is something not normal.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, as you know, in India, people are very superstitious. They have many beliefs since the ancient time. So, here one attendee is asking, okay, there is a myth of washing hair during periods causing infertility afterwards. So, is it scientifically true?
I actually I have heard this for the first time, so I don't have any idea. But I will let you know after the searching.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
ma'am.
Thank you so much for your wonderful session, ma'am. And it was definitely worth. We have enjoyed it all, and we surely want to hear you again with the more topics. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being with
Thank
us.
you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mehul sir. Thank you, Prakash sir. And thank you to all the attendees and the students where we are very calmly and very helpfully. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Samira ma'am. It was wonderful webinar because you are screening all the government scheme also. So students are knowing about that and you are going very nicely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.